and welcome to the Bobcat post-game show. Bobcats with their third home game here, in 5 days? And just come out today. You wonder if the Miami game took a lot out, but the Orlando Magic jumped on them early, and they were never able to recover and lose 179.
Yeah, definitely a letdown game, losing by 21. Never were really in the game. Magic jumped out to an 11-0 lead, kind of like the Bobcats did to the Heat the other night. So kind of a letdown game. Maybe that Miami Heat game with the biggest crowd ever in Bobcats history and them going down to the wire, maybe it took something out of them. This is a young team, so they got to learn from these kind of things. And Paul Silas, the head coach, he talked about it after the game. He said, yeah, we didn't have the effort tonight. We struggled. He said, but that's to expect from a young team when you're trying to learn the game and learn how to win and play together. And he said, if my team's playing like this in March, then I'll be upset. He said, but I have to be patient with this team. That's the main word he uses, patience. And we're going to see that after the kind of game we played tonight.
All right, the coach in me's going to come out. I'm going to look at the positive tonight. You got Corey McGaddy back on track. That he ended up being a leading scorer tonight. My boy, Byron Mullen, comes in and gives him 12 points off the bench, though. Those are some things there, but you got to have some concerns, too. Some of the other guys that played well dropped off a little bit. And, again, I honestly thought that with the tough loss on Wednesday night, it would carry over tonight, and I still think it did.
And it did, and the offense really struggled. We talked about it. They didn't really run. I mean, their plays, they just didn't get set. They took bad shots, a lot of long jump shots, a lot of contested jump shots, and that's going to be expected when you got a guy like Dwight Howard down in the middle. I mean, he's down there altering shots, so they couldn't really get to the basket. So they got to shoot these long jump shots. You mentioned a positive. Corey McGaddy with 18 points. He played well. Took a couple bad shots, but he was able to get the offense going. Byron Mullins, I thought, really played well off the bench. Kid's got one of the better shots that we've seen, and he's 7 feet tall. So they did a lot of nice pick and pop with him on the pick and roll for him to pop out and take shots. So you do have positives there, but like you said, maybe a letdown, maybe tired legs after that hard-fought game. Henderson, his shot was flat all night. He really didn't get anything going. DJ's shot was kind of flat, so just basically what we call a letdown, but like we said, a young team, and this was expected out of this team. Orlando's a good team. You don't have a center who can really guard Dwight Howard, and you got all those three-point shooters. You got to pick your points with Orlando, and they killed him tonight.
Dwight Howard for the second straight night, 24 rebounds, plays the game. First time I can ever remember he didn't have a foul the whole ball game.
Yeah, and that's hard to fathom with a guy that big who bangs down inside to get 24 rebounds, to not get maybe one over the back call or one fluke call where he doesn't get a foul. Like you said, 24 rebounds on back-to-back nights. That's 48 rebounds in 2 games. Still hasn't got to his career high, which we talked to him about, 26. So the guy's a monster downside, and we've seen this every time. When the Bobcats play the Orlando Magic, they don't really know what to do. Do they let Howard score a lot of points and let him have his game? Or do they double down on Dwight Howard and let the shooters just stand outside shoot three-pointers? And we saw that tonight. Ryan Anderson, 23 points. So Bobcats really were confused. They didn't know what to do, and kind of both of them killed three-point shooting and Dwight Howard. So just a bad overall night, but like Paul Silas said, this is a shorter season. They got 5 games next week, which is going to be difficult. But you got to learn, you got to grow, and get ready to play next week.
And again, learning curve already this week too. Kimball Walker, only 2 points off the bench. Again, third game for him this week though, but you hit the nail on the head. They have got 5 games in 7 days next week, 4 of them on the road. That ain't going to be easy.
No, it's not going to be easy. It starts on New Year's Day. Welcome to 2012. You get to go down to Miami and play the Miami Heat again right after they just came in here and took all of this out of you on Wednesday night. So that's not going to be easy, to say the least. But talk about this young team. Kimball Walker, 1-9 from the floor. He struggled, and that was one thing we talked about earlier. Too much dribbling around, not getting really the offense set. And Paul Silas said, with this young team, he may have to call more plays from the sidelines. So we may see that, but like you said, 5 games next week, 4 of them are on the road. You got teams like the Knicks who are struggling to have a really good team, the Heat, and so it's going to be tough next week. I'm really interested to see how this Bobcat team tries to respond here next week.
I said going in on Monday, from a coaching standpoint, and I know Coach Tony would agree with me on this too, that when you play the team they've had to play this week, you come out of it with 1 win. If you can win 1 of 3, you've done pretty good. And they were able to do that for a young team. That's not bad.
You've done pretty well, yeah. I mean, you had a letdown tonight with 2 games against 2 teams who said they're going to contend for the playoffs. Definitely Miami. I mean, probably the best team in the league. You played them toe-to-toe. You get a good win against the Milwaukee team. I was a little disappointed tonight because you did have that chance to steal 2 out of 3, and the way they were playing, they gave you the expectation that they might have a chance to do it, but maybe too much on them in 1 week for a young team trying to learn. And And like you said, there's a lot of new faces on this team. I mean, no more Gerald Wallace, no more Steven Jackson. And when you have guys like that last year who dominated the ball on the offensive end, it's going to take a while for guys to grow and come into their own. So we'll see what happens.
Bobcats go to play Miami on Sunday. They go to play Cleveland on Tuesday. They play New York on Wednesday. We'll be back next Friday night for the wrap-up here with the Atlanta Hawks. But again, an interesting week coming up for a young team.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It'll be a good week next week. One thing I will say this to end the note, is that Paul Silas, we talked about it. If you're going to have a young team like this is the kind of coach you want to have. He said, I'm not going to beat up my guys. I'm going to let them grow, I'm going to let them learn, and I'm going to keep pushing them to get better. And that's all you can ask for when you have a young team like this, and you know that as a coach.
That's going to wrap it up here from Time Warner Arena. For Dustin Phifer, I'm the coach Dick Cox on the Bobcat Report. Sorry we don't have a better story. The night score was the Orlando Magic 100, Bobcats 79. We'll see you next Friday.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year. Be safe.